Hello my fellow card lovers and welcome to part 10 of this tutorial on modeling a spiral casing using Autodesk Inventor. We are getting really close to the end of this tutorial, and in this part we are going to be working on mounting plates, ribs, and mounting bosses for control equipments like pressure gauges or flow sensors. We are going to start with this first rib, then next we will work on the mounting plates, then the ribs, and we will end with the bosses. So for this first rib, we are going to reuse this work plane 18 we have in the master part, and we are also going to use the thickness as parameters since the thickness is the shared 12 millimeters. So let's jump into Inventor and get to it. But before we start, we are going to create a new view representation so that we do not have all the stiffness in the view. We spent quite of time working on them. Now I am sick of seeing them. So we will open this representation folder, then select this view stiffness, and then right click and create new, and we will double click and rename this mounting plates and then boss. So mounting plates, ribs, and bosses. Okay, so for this configuration we want to have these components 17 to 18 sheet metal component visible. We will have these two also, and this one which is 3 to 4, then this one also, so 6 to 7, then 7 to 8, and we want also 11 to 12 and 12 to 13, then these two 15 to 16 and 16 to 17. We will also have this last stiffness, so S6. Okay, so what else? I think we will be good. So let's go back to Inventor and we will show the component we need and hide what we do not need. Or maybe we should start from this default and we will copy the name before we delete it. So right click and delete, then we will create a new one and we will have the same name like so. Then we will select what we want to keep. So we want this one. With control we can select this, and this is 2 to 3. So we have this 1 to 2, 2 to 3, this one, and the next one is 3 to 4, then 6 to 7, 7 to 8, 11 to 12, 12 to 13, then 15 to 16, 16 to 17, 17 to 18, and now with the shift button pressed down, we can right click and select this invert selection, or we can access it from the quick access toolbar here. So invert selection, so invert selection, then right click, toggle off the visibility, and we are good to go. Okay, for the first rib we are going to start from the master part, so right away make part, and this one we will call it S7. So we are going to keep the S naming scheme, and we want to use the work plane 18, and as parameters we will use the thickness. We will make sure that we unlink this sheet metal style since we are using a standard part template, and the name of the assembly I will just input the spiral casing name here and OK. Now we have the first rib created, then right click edit, and as we did before we are going to first copy the surface we need. So make sure that we have the external face of this one, then this face and this face. So let's make sure that we are selecting the correct geometry. So this and this. Okay, so let's say okay. First, as you can see, we have the opening here, so we are going to have to rotate this. Let's do it right away. So from this modified panel, move body, and we want to select this one. Make sure that we have a 0 as offset for all this input, and we are going to make sure that the method is the rotate about line, and we select the body, and we'll have this axis in front. So the angle value is 90 degrees. We will accept it as it is. So okay, and now we are good to go for the new sketch. So new sketch onto the XY plane, then we'll try to cut project edge, which is not working. So save the part. Okay, then open it in a separate window, and inside the sketch again, got projected edge. Now it is working. We'll be looking normal to the front, to the plane, and we will sketch the geometry. So line tool, we want something like so, 1 line, 2, 3, 4, 5, not something really difficult to do. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay, we have these two parallel, and the distance between them is 270 millimeters. We will have a 25-degree angle between this and the horizontal axis, and we will have a 130 millimeter offset from this WP18 work plane. Okay, so parallel constraint, this and this, and we try to move this like so. Then we'll have the distance between the two, and make sure that we have our 270, then enter, and everything is trying to fly around, so we are not going to let that happen. Okay, so let's drag this down, and maybe this should be more like this. I will hide this if it is possible, and we will connect this to this, and we want this connected to this, and not looking good. I will maybe start by, so it's embarrassing, so let's drag this like so, then try to connect this again. And do I have a constraint here? I don't know. Okay, so this line is parallel to the other one, so this is the problem. So we remove this perpendicular constraint, and then we can drag this like that. It's amazing how with simple geometry like this you can still have some trouble to get it in place. Let's move this out of the way, and we will project the work plane first into the sketch, then add this 130 millimeter offset, and then we want to add the angle which is between the horizontal and this one, 25 degrees, this to this, 25, and the best one for the end. So we will try a collinear constraint. So between this, you can see we cannot select it, and if we try the same for this and this, it's not possible to select. Okay, so what we can try to do is to connect this endpoint to this, and let's say this to this, then this to this, and this to this also, you can see we have a problem here. So you have to try something different. So let's undo. And the strategy I found working is to add 2 additional lines to simulate let's see, 2 independent lines. So like this. So because this is not a line, it is something like a spline, so we cannot constrain directly a line to that. So we use this line to create a collinear constraint with this one. So first I will constrain this to this endpoint, and this to that one, and this to this, and this to that endpoint. I'll make the 2 of them construction. So construction, oops, construction. I don't think I am selecting the right one, so let's use this construction and this construction, and let's wait for the second one, construction also. Okay, now I can use this collinear constraint between this and this and this and that. Okay, finally now we can finish the sketch and create the extrude. So we want the extent to be the thickness, and we want the extrusion to be symmetrical. So okay, and we are done for this component. So let's hide this and save the part, and back to the assembly. And as you can see, we have the rib created. Okay, next we will move to this mounting brackets. As you can see, we have two similar. So this one, the first one, is quite similar to this second one, and we have the same for the ribs. So we are going to make sure that all the parameters which are shared between the components are controlled from the master part, so that all of them can be driven from a single location. So we will have this 90 millimeters dimension, and we will have this thickness also, and we will have the width, which is in my understanding the same. So this is the first one, and for the second one you have to look here. So we'll have, I think, the same width. The contour bore holes are the same size, and the offset from this edge is the same. The distance center to center is also the same. And what else? This distance to axis, which will define the position of this edge, will not be the same. So what we are going to do now is, as we did for the stiffener, take time to fully define the parameters we will need for these components. Okay, we'll start with this one, the width. So let's go back to the master part and right click parameters. So here, user parameters, add numeric and m1 underscore width, and the value should be 400 millimeters. Then we'll copy this for the second one, m2 width, which will share the same value. Then we will have this distance to axis, so numeric. So this one is distance to axis, which is equal to 1285, I believe. So let's see, 65 instead, and 1000 for the second mounting plates. So 65. I will copy this, and numeric, these two, and this will be 1000. Then Then we will have this all vertical spacing, so add numeric, all vertical spacing, which is 40 millimeters, and it is the same for the second one. So this one is equal to this one, and we will have the horizontal spacing, which is 290, and copy this again for the second one, and we paste this like so. Then to finish with this view, we have this rib S8 spacing, which is the external distance between the two ribs for the first mounting plate, which is 180. So let's go with that spacing, which is 180. Then we will have the same value for this one, so S between S10 and S11. So I am going to say S10 spacing, this one S10 spacing, which is equal to SA spacing. And let's move to this side. We will follow with this one. So it seems to be too much work, but you will see it will pay off when we start working on the part. So you just have to have some patience when doing this. So this value is 130, and we will have S9. Maybe let's just copy this and paste it here. 9 width, which this time is 75, and now we need the angle which is 50 degrees. So this angle, and we want decrease, which is 15. Enter. Now for the rib, so 9, and for the angle we want this to be degree first, and for the value it will be 45 degrees. Then so this is done, and we will add another one for the thickness of the mounting plate, which is 40 millimeters. So this one will be, let's say, copy this, mounting plate thickness, the H key, which is 40. We will add another one for the second one, which is equal to the first one. Let's see, we have this cutout. So we have the first one, which is the cutout distance, this distance of 5 millimeters, and we have this one, which is 90 millimeters. So add numeric, so cut distance 1, which is 5, and then got distance 2, which is 90, and we will have the same exact value for this side. So let's go to that, copy this, and this one should be the number 2, and it should be equal to the number 1. We add a new one, and maybe first we should select this, add numeric, paste this, replace this by 2, and make sure it is equal here. So now we are done with all this. So maybe we need this S9 angle and this S9 width, let's say. So S9 width and S9 angle are done already, so we can move to this side, and we will have for the 10 and 11. So let's do it like this. So S10 width is 90 millimeters, and then S10 angle, we want it in degree, should be 40 degrees. And now for the last one, we will have this 45 degrees angle and 40 millimeters width. So let's go to that. For that, so this one 11, which is 40 millimeters, and for the angle we will have it equal to, so let's first have decrease, and we will have it equal to this one. So, and we are done with parameters. So now we can start creating the parts. We are going to start with the first mounting plate. So let's go to the master part and make part. We are going to use only parameters, and we will select everything related to the mounting plates. So user parameters, and let's look for this. So for the first one and the second one, so this, and looks okay. So we will select this, and the name will be mounting plate 1. We'll use a standard millimeter template, and okay. So now edit the part, and the first thing we are going to do is to copy the geometry we will need as reference. So we will need the stiffener, but we are not going to copy it right now. We will only copy this surface from the sheet metal component 15 to 16. Okay, so object, copy object, this, and we want to make sure we are copying a face, then this surface. Okay, and now we are going to start a sketch onto the XY plane, and then we are going to look normal to the sketch plane, and we are going to create just a rectangle, something like this, and we want to project the x-axis onto the plane. So project geometry, and now we are going to, okay, escape first. We'll input the thickness, so this one, and we will look for the parameter for the thickness, which is this one. So now we will grab this and drag it so it is somewhere like this. So now using the line tool, we will create the cut, so something like this and like that. We will use the trim tool to remove this portion, this one and this one. So I don't know why this fell, so we are just going to delete it and recreate the thickness dimension, so this like that. Okay, this keeps happening because there is a setting in Autodesk Inventor that when enabled, sketch geometry is resized when the first dimension is created. And maybe let's just keep adding dimension. We will position it as it should be later. So this one is the cutout dimension number 2, which is for the first one, cut distance 2, and the cut distance 1 is this one. Okay, and now we need to finish the value of this angle, and if we have a look onto the print, there is no indication of the value, and my guess is it is something close to this 45 degrees, so we are just going to use the 45 degrees. And so this to this, and like so we are going to input 45 degrees, and now we need to fully position, or maybe we should bring this to where we want. And maybe, okay, so what we will do instead is first to connect this to the origin. We want this endpoint to be vertically aligned with the origin, so we select the vertical constraint, this endpoint and the origin, and we will add the dimension to the axis, so this will bring our profile to the correct location. So this should be M1 distance to axis, and now we are looking good. And all we need to do is to now connect this to the center axis, so that we have this face coincident to the x-axis, or this edge coincident to the x-axis. So this collinear constraint, this to this, and now we have the mounting plate profile fully defined. So we'll finish the sketch and we will create a protrusion. So we want this parameter to be the mounting plate width, and we want the extrusion to be symmetrical, something like so. Maybe what we can do is instead to have this divided by 2. You will see why later. So, and we will not use the symmetric extent for now, so we will only create the half and we will mirror it later. Now next step is to trim this to remove this unnecessary portion. So we will use this split tool and we will select the trim option, and the split tool will be this face. We will flip the side so that this side is removed. And next what we want to do is to make a cutout so that we have a room for the stiffener. So again we will start a new plane onto the XY plane, and this time what we are going to do is to use this cut project edge, and we are going to select this component. As you can see, we have here this profile created. We are going to use this option so we can see through the part and display the profile properly. Okay, so now let's look from the back, and what we will do is to select all these curves and make them construction first, and we will draw a rectangle like so. And as we did for the overall profile, we will make this endpoint vertically aligned with the origin, and we will use the collinear constraint, constrain this to this edge, this to that, and this to this. Okay, now we can finish the sketch and remove the material. So we want to remove through all, and there we go. So to finish this part, what we are not going to do is to clean up this face, because this part is most likely to be machine or CNC machine, and with CNC we can get this face easily. So we are just going to leave it like so, and we need to add the contour bar holes. So next we will start a sketch onto this face, and we create a point, and first a dimension from this edge to this, and we will change the value to this parameter, which is the vertical spacing, and it should be 40 millimeters. And for the horizontal spacing, we are going to create a new dimension. So from the origin to the point, and this should be the horizontal spacing divided by 2, and okay. So now we have the position for the hole. We will finish and create the contour bar holes. We want to be from sketch, and we have the center point of the hole already selected. We will change the option to this one. We want the diameter to be 55 millimeter for the contour bar, 30 millimeter for the hole, and the hole will be cut through the part. So this first one is 55, then 30, and so the depth is not given, so we will use something like, let's say, 5 millimeters, and the diameter here will be 30 millimeters, and the hole is through hole. Okay, and now to finish this mounting plate, what we are going to do is to create a mirror feature. So we will use this mirror tool. We want to mirror the entire solid, so we are going to switch to this option, and now we will select the mirror plane, which will be the XY plane, and okay. Now as you can see, the part is created. Okay, so now we are going to create the ribs on this side and the other side, and we will mirror them in the assembly instead of inside the part as we did for this component. Okay, so first we will turn off the visibility, which is out of the area, so, and return to the assembly, save the assembly, and from the master part we'll make a new part which will be rib, but we use the S letter anyway. So standard part. For the parameters, we'll make sure that we use the thickness, and then we are going to go to the user parameters and select everything related to the ribs. So we will have this one, this, and this. So it's a bit overkill, but it will save us some time later. So like this, and okay. Now we edit in place, and as we are already familiar, we are going to first start by copying the face we need. So this and that, and we will also copy the top face of the mounting plate. So okay, and now we will create the sketch plane, and we want the sketch plane to be the interior face, so that we will extrude away from the curves or the lines where the rib touches the sheet metal components of the main case. So the work plane will be at a distance of half the spacing minus the thickness. So let's go to that. So we're going to start this offset from plane and then use the XY plane. So we are going in the right direction. So now we will be looking for the S8 spacing. We will divide it by 2 first, and then we will remove the thickness. So let's look for the thickness, and there we go. Okay, now we start sketch onto the plane, and for the profile, as we did for the first rib, we just have something like this, don't want the horizontal constraint, and this. We make sure that these two are parallel, then the distance between them should be the width of the first rib. Okay, this like that. Then the angle, let's see, from this to that, so we'll add this, and we want the value to be linked. So S8 angle, where is this? Okay, this one. And now we should use this cut edge tool, which is not working. So we just finish this, save the assembly, and return, and let's open it in a separate window. I really wish I didn't have to do that, but it is what it is. So now let's project the cut edges, and first thing we'll do is to connect this to this, and we will move this close, and maybe this close to here, and this like so. And let's see, so let's see, this to this, and this to this. We have one constraint missing. You can see we can still move the profile, and you can see that we are really close to this edge. I'm not sure that it is the correct position, but I will assume it is. So I will connect this endpoint to this endpoint of the mounting plate profile. So connect this to this endpoint, and now we have the rib profile fully defined. We will just finish it and extrude. Select the region, and the side is okay, and we need the thickness for the distance, and there we go. So no cleanup required, because we make sure that we are starting from this edge and extruding in this way. So I'm just going to hide this and this one also. Then we will save it and return to the assembly, and now we will create the next one from the assembly. So we are going to copy this as we did before, place component. We are going to look for this first rib, then open. And one trick I learned when I was prepping for this video is that you can just, without placing the component, right click and say place grounded at the origin, then escape, and now you have the component already grounded. So now you can just right click, save and replace component, then give the new name and save. So now we have one step less when we create components, and it feels good. So now we will edit this, and first we will move this end of part marker and redefine the surface we need. So we have this one and also this one. So this one will not be useful since this second one is only in contact with this sheet metal components 15 to 16. So we are going to delete this, and we will keep this. We will redefine this one to select the bottom of the mounting plate like so, and okay. Now the work plane will stay the same, and let's see what parameter we are using here. We have S9 spacing divided by 2. So for the work plane, we are going to keep it like so, and for the extrusion, we'll have to make some change onto the sketch for it to be working properly. Okay, now we need to reconnect this edge to this projected edge instead. So connect this to this, and as you can see, we have a warning. So we have to first remove the non-necessary constraints. So delete consistent constraint here, and we can move this edge freely. This one not yet, so like so. This endpoint can move. I will just reconnect this to that, and in this side I still have one constraint with this, so this one or this. Right click and delete. Now let's try to move this again. Okay, now it's working, and I will try to connect this to this now. So still not working. Maybe for this one, let's see. So this is moving freely, and this one not. Okay, so on this side you're going to see we have these two constraints, and here we have these two. I am not sure, so I'm just going to remove the constraint and we will see. Okay, so now we will be able to do so. So we will connect this and make sure that we have the collinear between these two, and let's see. So what is the faster way to do this? So we are going to make this a driven dimension, this also, and we're going to drag this like this, and since this is flipped, we are just going to remove this, and let's see if we move this like so, and this one like that. We are close to the goal, and now this value should be, so this parameter, we want it to be the number 9 width, and for this endpoint we want it to be connected to this one. So connect constraint this to this, and we will add the angle again between this and that. So place parameter angle this one, and to finish we will constrain this to this. I wonder if it is much easier to just throw it from scratch. I think this is taking me too much time. Okay, so now we are done for the component. The extrusion is properly working. We will return to the assembly, and now we want to mirror these two components. So we will use this mirror tool, mirror component, and we will select this one and this one. Now we need to select the mirror plane, which will be this XY plane, and you can see on the preview the components are created. So next we will create new file, and this is because Inventor is not seeing the part as identical, but it's not a big deal. So we just have this underscore mir extension to the part name, and we select OK, and now we have the second and the third ribs and the mirror counterpart created. So for the next part, we are going to create the mounting plate on this side, the ribs, and we will finish with the mounting bosses. I hope I will see you there, and again, thanks for watching.